And Oscar De La Hoya moving up to 160 pounds, taking on German Felix Sturm. Those bouts yet to come. Well, folks, here we are for the fight that was close to not happening. And we'll explain more about that drama in just a moment. But Emmanuel, the fight is going to take place. As Jim Lampley has said before, this will be the third meeting between Hopkins and Allen. Let's take a look back at the previous two matches. As you heard Lampley mention before, here is the visual embellishment in fight number one between Hopkins and Allen. It was declared a no contest, but a physical affair nonetheless.
It was not only a physical affair, it was a pretty good contest up until the time it ended. As a matter of fact, even though Hopkins was ahead on the scorecards, I had to fight a lot closer. But anytime these two guys fight, you're going to have a lot of physical interaction between the two of them. And going into the fight tonight, that's been the talk more than anything else. Is about all of this physical interaction that's going to be taking place, to the degree that it might end up being a passive boxing
And
match.
as I mentioned, a no contest in fight number one, twisted ankle on the part of Bernard Hopkins. Number two, a physical affair, but decisively in favor of Hopkins.
Yeah, but right there you see all of these low blows, a lot of physical things that's going on here. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why tonight Hopkins has been so concerned about the referee, because he is expected a physical fight.
Well, with that in mind, and again, he does win TKO, 7 rounds there, Hopkins decisively. And Allen indicated that he was not mentally and emotionally into that one, but you talked about the low blows and the like. Well, that leads us to the drama that many of you have already heard of. Bernard Hopkins threatened 2 days ago to pull out of this bout because Joe Cortez was assigned as referee. Hopkins feeling that Cortez might have a vendetta against him because Cortez is of Puerto Rican descent. Why does that matter? Well, Bernard acknowledged in a meeting that we had with him yesterday, it was a concern that he, Hopkins, created while on a promotional tour for his fight against Felix Trinidad in 2001. While in Puerto Rico, Hopkins and Trinidad promoting their fight, engaged in some pre-fight hype. They got carried away. Take a look. Hopkins grabs the Puerto Rican flag. He throws it down. A very agitated crowd let Bernard know of its displeasure by going after him. Hopkins wisely and quickly escaped certain harm by running up the stands, hopping over a railing, and exiting the arena. Now, Hopkins claims he had Cortez removed as a referee for that fight against Trinidad and for his fight in December against William Joppy. Now, after what Bernard feels was a concession, he acquiesced. Cortez will referee, and the fight will go on. The drama before the fight. For more texture to that story, let's go back downstairs ringside to Jim Lampley. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, James Brown. And you heard JB refer to the fact that Hopkins believes he got a concession from the Nevada State Athletic Commission by protesting Cortez's assignment as the referee in the fight. So what did he get? Well, there was going to be a dramatic reunion at the weigh-in yesterday, wherein Hopkins and Cortez and everybody would kiss and make up and look good for the cameras. That didn't happen. So the real concession that he got is an eye-in-the-sky camera mounted over the ring, which will track the activities not just of Joe Cortez in this fight, but of all the referees while they're working tonight. If Hopkins believes that accomplished a great deal in his behalf, well then, of course, he's entitled to his opinion. Earlier this evening, Larry Merchant in Bernard Hopkins' dressing room spoke to him about the entire controversy.
Thank you, Bernard, for having us. Are you satisfied that your problems with Joe Cortez are cleared up and you won't have any further problems in the ring?
Yes, absolutely. I have a peace of mind, which every fighter will want to have once he enters the ring, and I have that now, and I'm ready to go ahead. No excuses. I'm ready to go forward.
Is any part of your thinking that your opponent tonight has promised a rough, tough, and even dirty fight, and that you're afraid that you could get engaged in something like that and suffer some penalty?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to retaliate. I'm not going to complain to the referee. That's never been my style, Larry, and it won't be my style tonight. And I wanted to be sure to let, outside of the referee, the boxing commission and the world know that, hey, if this guy start, fouling and start doing things that he openly admitted that he's going to do, then I'm going to retaliate. And I just don't want to get punished for what he does, and I retaliate back. So I just wanted to be clear, because I'm not going to back down from a rough and tough fight. If he wants to be a rough and tough fight, I'll fight my fight. but I would not back down from nobody in that ring.
Okay, now to the important topic. Did you lose any money on Smarty Jones today?
No, I didn't. That's why I bet on myself. But, you know, Larry, the Philadelphia was so hyped up, like the Eagles when they was looking like they was going to the Super Bowl, the Sixers the year before last. Bernard Hopkins is the last of Mohicans. Philadelphia, I've been hearing all week that we don't have a champion. We've been waiting so long for a champion. Open your eyes and look right behind you. I've been here all the time, jumping and making a lot of noise. Whether it's positive or negative, I've been making a lot of noise. But Smarty, you know, he put up a good race, but he didn't win. And winning is important. But Philadelphia, hold that parade now. Hold that parade. I don't eat carrots. Just have a good steak.
What's that? Bernard Hopkins didn't want to bet on Jones? Oh, yeah, Smarty Jones. Later, Larry spoke to the other protagonist in the controversy, referee Joe Cortez.
Joe, thanks for being with us. What were your thoughts when you heard that Bernard Hopkins was trying to prevent you from refereeing this fight tonight?
Well, I was kind of surprised, but you know, a lot of crazy things happen in boxing, and as an official, you have to be prepared for anything that can come about.
What is your history with him? Did he actually prevent you from refereeing his fight, either with Trinidad or any other fights?
You know, I read about that years ago, and there was no big issue with me because these things happen sometimes. But you know, as a professional that I am, refereeing for 27 years, with 163 World Championship fights under my belt, you know, these things don't bother me. I mean, these are things that you have to expect that sometimes a fighter may not want you. But I hold no grudges. I'm a professional official.
So, but as far as you know, were you on the short list to referee either his fight either with Joppy or with Trinidad?
I was called to work in New York on that card, and I read on the internet that he pulled me out. But you know, I said that's no big deal. You know, if I don't do one championship fight, it's nothing to bother me because these things can happen. And as a professional that I am, you know, I teach referees. I have a school for referees on the internet. I teach, don't take sides with fighters. You have to use good ethics, which I've always used throughout the years.
Do you feel his perception that because you're Puerto Rican that you might unwittingly be biased in a fight involving a Puerto Rican fighter? Did that bother you? Did it hurt you? Did it question your integrity or professionalism?
No, they just have to understand that throughout the years, people that have known me throughout the years, they know I never take sides. I always say it could be my brother in the ring. You commit a foul, I'm going to take a point. It doesn't make any difference. I don't think about black, white, Hispanic. That doesn't make any difference to me. I'm an official. I think like an official. Fans think differently. They think with emotions. I think like a real professional.
What kind of pressure was brought to bear on you to step aside so they could avoid any possibility that he might walk out on the fight?
You know, it was pressure to some extent, but I can handle pressure. With what went on with my daughter being in a car accident, being a quadriplegic, my wife with breast cancer, that's pressure. That happened back to back within a year. You know, this is nothing.
So when you had calls either from Bob Arum or Oscar De La Hoya or anybody on the commission, let's just take another fight tonight, but you stood your ground, what was the principle you were standing on?
Let me clarify something right now. Oscar De La Hoya never called me. Okay, just to get that straight. And, you know, the pressure was on everybody. But like I said, I knew that at the end, everything will be straightened out. Once Hopkins, he requested to see me personally, face-to-face yesterday, which we did. I think once he saw me, I talked to him, looking him in his eyes, eye to eye, he realized what kind of person I am. I'm a real professional, and I think he recognized that before. So I don't know whoever planted a seed in his head about something crazy. That's ludicrous.
What do you feel about this idea of a ref cam above the ring to follow you and other referees tonight to mollify him and to make him feel that everything is going to be done professionally?
Well, if the camera is going to be on me, they're going to have a tough time because I got a shiny head, so I'm going to blind them all night. But I'm going to do a professional job in there. They have nothing to worry about.
So you're not going to throw any low blows?
Absolutely. And that'd be a good, clean fight. Believe me, you're going to be surprised at the end how everything works out.
Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you so much.
It is true that Joe and Bernard were very buddy-buddy during referees' instructions tonight in Bernard's dressing room. Roy, Bernard ultimately backed down on all of this, and obviously the fight's going to take place with Joe Cortez as the referee. But Bernard thinks he scored a victory because he placed a spotlight on Cortez, and now maybe he won't get penalized as he might have been expected to in what is expected to be a rough, foul-filled fight. Did, in fact, Bernard score that victory?
No, I don't think he scored a victory, mainly because I think Cortez is pretty much a clean-cut guy anyway. So how can you make a clean-cut guy be more clean-cut? You can't. If anything, he may have hurt himself by getting a camera over the ring to show some of the real fouling that Bernard is capable of doing.
Or to suggest to Cortez and others that he might have an ulterior motive here.
You are exactly right.
Because he probably does, at least based on his previous record. Larry, you are noteworthy as one of the longtime observers and chroniclers of Bernard's outside-the-ring theatrics. What was all this about?
Well, let's go to his self-portrait first. He calls himself unreasonable, a time bomb ready to go off. You get the feeling that Bernard Hopkins could have a problem with a tulip, with a sunset. Having come from the streets, having spent years in prison, he walks around feeling that everybody around him might stick a knife into him. Now, that kind of paranoia may be a useful tool in the boxing jungle, but it sure does get old. It wears on everybody, and it is indeed a little bit sad. But as far as the ref cam, Jim, and what they did to concede to him, that's like giving a Tootsie Roll to a 3-year-old to stop him from having a tantrum. Means zilch.
The tantrum got a lot of attention. It stole the spotlight from Oscar De La Hoya, and who's ever done that? Tail of the tape now for Bernard Hopkins, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, defending against Robert Allen for a third time. 1 no contest and 1 victory for Hopkins in their first 2 fights. You can see that Bernard at 39 is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, champion in the sport. But hey, 39 going on 27. He's in sensational shape, has not yet shown any real signs of wearing down. He's got a 4-inch height advantage. He's got only a 1/2-inch arm length advantage, though, measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. Hopkins with a 28-inch waist, weighed in at 159, Allen at 160. Tonight, it is Allen who has put on more weight as he goes all the way up to 173 for a 5-pound weight advantage. CompuBox numbers, Larry, from their first 2 appearances against each other.
Neither one will go into a time capsule. We see they threw roughly the same number of punches per round. Hopkins landing 15, Allen 9, and that is a reflection of how those fights went, although Hopkins dominated and embarrassed Allen in the second fight.
Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Bernard Hopkins-Robbie Allen fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules that you see on your screen. Jim, real quick, the 4 criteria that the judges will use to score each individual round: clean punching, effective aggressiveness, ring generalship, and defense, with a strong emphasis on clean, effective punching. Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Harold. Now here's a good look at former Marine Robert Allen. He hitchhiked west 2 days after graduating from high school in Houma, Louisiana. It could have been a one-way trip to oblivion. He wound up living homeless on the streets of Los Angeles, Larry, but what a story of redemption from there.
Yeah, he was discovered by a couple among a lot of congenital homeless and rescued, and then he wound up joining the Marines, where he was a machine gunner and a boxer.
Since the second fight with Hopkins, he has won 13 consecutive assignments, Roy Jones. Not high profile. A couple of them were walkout bouts, but nevertheless, 13 straight wins. How does that affect him coming in?
Well, that should have boosted his confidence and gave him the opportunity to work on the things that he felt may have caused him to fall short in the first 2 fights. So hopefully this has built his confidence, and he'll come out and make a much better account for himself than he did in the last one.
Some suspect that part of Hopkins' game in creating all of the turmoil that he caused in the last couple of days was to try to distract Allen. When we spoke to Allen yesterday, he pretended, and I'm sure he was pretending, that he didn't know anything about it. But I'm sure it is a part of his mindset to try to completely ignore everything Hopkins has done and focus on his own business in the ring.
Yeah, it is, and he would be able to do this because, first of all, he was a Marine. Second of all, he knows Hopkins. He's been in the ring with Hopkins twice already. Nothing new to him. He's seen this, he's been here, he's done this, and he's ready for it.
And now, Larry Merchant, we have a momentary delay as perhaps Bernard Hopkins plays one of the oldest games in the book by waiting to leave his dressing room. Nope. All right. Now our producers tell us that he's raring to go. So here he comes. 18th defense of the middleweight championship for the executioner, Bernard Hopkins.
One of his weapons that he's been able to use against promoters, managers, everybody to keep himself going has been his frugality, his closeness with his money, so that promoters couldn't get into him. Alongside him, you see Bowie Fisher, who has been with him since the day he started to become a professional. Hopkins fired him over money as soon as he started to make the big money. Fisher sued him, and they settled, and he's back with Bernard. That you could call a draw. He does have a loss since he lost to you, Roy. And that was, of course, when he lost the libel suit to Lou DiBella, and that was also about money.
Hopkins hasn't really had a mega fight since his giant conquest of Felix Trinidad, September 29, 2001. But if both he and Oscar De La Hoya can win tonight, he'll be scheduled to have one in September. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Top Rank Incorporated is proud to present 12 rounds of boxing for the universally recognized Middleweight Championship of the World. Brought to you in association with Golden Boy Promotions and Warriors Boxing. Sponsored by the King of Beers, Budweiser. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman John Bailey, Executive Director Mark Ratner, and sanctioned by the IBF, WBA, and WBC. The three judges at ringside scoring this contest on the 10-point system are Carol Castellano, Patricia Jarman, and Jerry Roth. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, working in the 164th world title bout of his career, Joe Cortez. And now, from the City of Entertainment, the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trimmed with black. He officially weighed in at 160 pounds and brings an outstanding professional record to the ring. 36 victories, including 27 knockouts, with 4 defeats. Tonight, he comes in as the challenger, but plans to leave as the new champion. By way of Houma, Louisiana, now fighting out of Atlanta, Georgia, the IBF #1 ranked middleweight contender in the world, Robert, armed and dangerous Allen. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing red with gold, his official weight, 159 pounds. His professional record, 43 victories, including 31 knockouts, 21 in 4 rounds or less, and 13 KOs in the very first round. He has only 2 defeats and 1 draw. He's undefeated for almost a decade and ruled supreme as the champion in this period, making 17 straight defenses, assuring him a place in the Hall of Fame and earning him recognition as pound for pound among the best in the world. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, presenting the reigning, defending, universally recognized middleweight champion of the world, Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
All right, gentlemen. Who's going to come in here with him? We need 1 chief second. One. Okay, gentlemen. We went over the rules of the dressing room. All right, this cup here is a little high. Yours is a little high, but yours is much higher here. Punches here are still good. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I expect nothing but good sportsmanlike conduct on both of you. Understand? Give me a good, clean fight. Come here. I'll obey my commands at all times. Remember, guys, I'm fair, but I'm firm. Touch them up.
It's safe to say that fans haven't been clamoring for this third fight. Hopefully, it will be better than the first two. It could hardly be less.
Good look at Allen. Serious business. Bernard Hopkins hasn't lost a fight since he lost to Roy Jones back in 1993. On several occasions, negotiations were underway to try to put Hopkins and Jones together again. It has not ever happened. However, in the new Ring Magazine pound-for-pound rankings of the past few weeks, Hopkins has moved up to #1. So he's fighting to protect that ranking here against Allen and to take it on into September, if in fact that takes place. Allen southpaw. Tries to work behind his right jab, was effective with it in the first couple of rounds of their first fight.
All right, break out.
One good thing for Bernard is that he's taller than Allen, which makes him have the advantage more so because now Allen has to kind of come to him.
And while Bernard is not a huge one-punch puncher, he's used that leverage that he gets from his height to wear opponents down frequently throughout his career, right?
Yes, he does.
Allen, incidentally, is a natural right-hander. One of the few natural right-handers you'll see fight from the southpaw stance.
Says that he did it from the first moment he went into the gym. Just felt more comfortable that way. Michael Moorer was like that.
All right, break out. Step back.
He talked about that hold one arm, pound away with the other technique.
They both love to do that.
The first fight was very tactical, 4 rounds before it ended. Neither one had a significant advantage. The second fight, Hopkins started to be more aggressive and throw more right hands and seized the initiative and dominated Allen.
Yeah, and you have to wonder what was going on in Allen's life at that moment, as he didn't seem very well prepared for the fight. By his own admission, he says, well, I trained in Miami while the Falcons were preparing for the Super Bowl, and I was rooting for the Falcons, and it distracted me. If you're distracted by that before your biggest fight, then there must be something else going on, too.
Yes, a lot of other things may be going on.
You got a problem? You got a problem? Okay, what I'll tell you. All right, no hitting on a break. All right, let's go.
See, and surely at this moment, Hopkins is saying, I got him. There's Cortez already taking Allen to task.
A left hand from Allen landed.
Hold it right there. Let's go. Lead fight, 3 rounds. All right, time.
Tactical first round draws boos from the crowd.
Settle down. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Don't worry about it. Everything's cool. Get water.
Hopkins with the trainer he fired, who then sued him, and now they're back together, lovey-dovey.
Everything's cool in this, son. Just go right back to the original plan. Stay right there.
Trap him left, trap him right.
And fire the shot?
And trap him left, trap him right. And then he's going to come. But he's moving right into the trap.
Throw the shot forward?
Throw the shot.
Even if he's trying to counter?
The trap, the hook's going to bring it back to your left hand. When he come back, he's going right to the left.
Seems to me they ought to be on the same page by this time, Roy.
Yeah, it seems like they should have that together already, so that worries you. because you wonder how is he in the corner now asking questions, especially after you fought a guy 2 times already.
Yeah, and you heard the crowd boo at the end of round 1. That's because CompuBox could only find 8 landed punches in the round, 6 for Hopkins and 2 for Allen. They only threw a total of 55 between them. Some middleweights would average 55 per round on their own. So the first round was slow.
It was a fill-out process, I think.
Another left hand lands for Allen. Just a little poke, but he got it into Hopkins' face with a left hand lead.
Do you feel, Roy, that Hopkins has become more and more of a counterpuncher over the years?
Yes, he has. He knows when to be aggressive and how to be aggressive, but he kind of goes out and he does a little bit like Castillo did in the last fight. He starts out slow and he picks up as the fight goes on because he knows most of these guys will wear down throughout the course of a long fight.
At 39, is there any reason for Bernard to worry about how much gas he has in the tank?
No, because he stays trained all the time. He stays ready. He's very disciplined. One of the best disciplined champions you'll ever see.
No bad habits.
No bad habits, so he does not have to worry about getting tired. He won't run out of gas.
Hopkins is a gym rat, kind of like Roy Jones.
You got to love the gym if you're going to compete.
And with Allen at an odd angle and with his back turned to Bernard Hopkins, Hopkins took advantage of the opportunity to pepper him with 3 shots and now knocks him down on a left hook that Joe Cortez says was not in a knockdown. Not an official knockdown. He says it was a trip with the foot.
Well, it looked like a knockdown, but maybe Hopkins inadvertently was stepping on the front foot of Allen.
I believe he was. And Hopkins didn't protest the call at all. You have a hunch that if all goes well for Bernard, he'll acknowledge after the fight that Joe Cortez is one of the greatest referees there is.
Allen is having real problems cutting the ring off on Bernard, and that shouldn't be a problem for a seasoned fighter.
Bernard hits Allen with a straight right hand as Allen prepared to step in. With all of his experience, his 18 consecutive title defenses, Hopkins doesn't worry much about pleasing the crowd.
Never has.
Boos aren't likely to change what he's doing in there.
No, they won't, and that shows his discipline once again. He's not going to let somebody talk him into doing something that he doesn't want to do.
All right.
Neither of them deserve to win that round, as far as I'm concerned.
What, you thought the first one was any better?
Double up for me.
This fight is off to a desultory start.
Right? Not big, just double them. Quick, quick.
Smart and patient. Smart and patient. Taking away.
Just quick. Don't worry about the big power. It's a quick shot. Hit the top.
We'll go to him in front.
Yeah.
Punch your way there. Use the jab up and down. Drop your feint. Quick left hand. Touch him. Touch on this guy. The guy's soft.
Let's see that knockdown or non-knockdown.
No punch at all.
Yeah.
Good call by Cortez. And here's a look at it from ref cam. And you can see right there, Hopkins' left foot was completely on top of the right foot of Robert Allen. So Joe Cortez called it perfectly as the conventional fighter's foot was locked up with the southpaw fighter's foot.
Hold the head down, Allen.
There you go, Ed. There you go, Ed. Just like that, baby. You're looking for the hook. You're going to try to jab and go to the hook. Keep working.
Touch on him. Good fight. Change fight. Touch on him.
Roy Jones talks about Bernard Hopkins' discipline. One way that shows is he's about as consistent as anybody in keeping his right hand in a proper defensive position. And therefore, when he throws the straight right hand, he wraps it from around behind his shoulder. And there's another straight right hand over the top by Hopkins.
Left hand, I believe, that Allen landed stunned Hopkins
The
just
right hook.
momentarily. Was it a right?
It was a right hook.
Most effective punch of the fight for Allen. And now a little straight left hand inside lands for Allen as their heads nearly bump.
Yeah, they have to be very careful of the clashing of heads, because usually when these two type lefty and the righty fights, the headbutt is a very big issue.
Good straight right hand down the pipe for Hopkins, and then he stepped away. Bernard seems to be picking up the tempo just a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to steal a little bit more now. Try to land some big shots here, pop shots that is, to get himself going.
But still, circling, moving away, countering, picking his spots.
And not doing anything.
Limited offense. I'm trying to put a good face on this, Larry.
He's throwing one punch at a time.
Is this likely to build Allen's confidence, Roy Jones?
No, not really, because Allen doesn't throw many punches either. I mean, neither one of them are doing a whole lot right now. And I don't think Allen was lacking for confidence coming in anyway.
Straight right hands were the key to Hopkins' offensive performance against Allen in the second of their two fights. He used the straight right hand more liberally in the second fight than in the first, and that was where he did a lot of the damage.
Yeah, he's using it pretty good right now.
Yep. Another straight right hand in that exchange. A little left to the body. Bernard quite content for the moment to, as Larry pointed out, land one punch at a time.
Hey, Rob, listen, man.
Crowd not content with that, but Bernard is.
You gonna train too hard to let this guy be stealing round. You know he's gonna try to steal the round.
He ain't doing nothing, Rob.
All he's doing is look to jump in with the right hand.
He ain't got no left hand, man.
Let your shots go. I need the quick one too. And when he come close, turn the left uppercut under right away. All right? Do it now. Do it now. We can't let him steal no more rounds.
Gotta get a dog fight, baby.
You can't let him steal no more rounds, man.
Come on, champ. Careful, smart.
Take a nice deep breath for me, baby.
Feint to keep him working.
Take a deep breath for me, son.
Keep him working.
Again, Allen is a natural right-hander who fights from the southpaw stance. And there you see that wide swinging hook at one point in the round, digging with the right and coming over with it again later in the round.
Go, let's get him out. Come on, John.
So he uses that as his all-purpose weapon. Jabs, hooks, uppercuts, crosses.
And now Allen gets in another chopping right over the top as they scuffle near the ropes. Hopkins comes back with his trademark straight right hand. Harold, how do you have it through three?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27, Bernard Hopkins. Jim, I got to tell you something. Bernard Hopkins, you know, when I watched him fight Keith Holmes, it was the same thing. He, in essence, when he fights the southpaw, he goes the wrong way. I mean, we're looking at ring generalship. He should circle the other way, but even still, he's landed the straight right hands.
I have it 1 round each and 1 round even.
And Joe Cortez warns Bernard Hopkins to keep him up. Well, you heard Byron Oglesby, Robert Allen's trainer between rounds, and clearly he was thinking that Hopkins had won the third, and may have been thinking that Hopkins won the first two, as he ardently said to his fighter, you can't let him steal any more rounds. Stealing rounds is something you know how to do when you've been in the sport as long as this guy has.
Yeah, he stole a lot of them in his days. But he's a true veteran. And for Bernard, he's just going to try to wait Robert Allen out, let Robert get tired, land a few shots here, pick it up late, and hope he can make Robert quit like he tried to do the first time. He's not going to try to be out here trying to take stupid chances.
He can't stop fighting yet. He got to make weight. Top shot. You got to make weight, baby. He's too heavy. You got to make weight. There you go. There you go.
Again, Hopkins stepping forward with the straight right hand.
Fire inside. Fire inside. Do the trap with that hook. Fire inside.
Break out, break out, break out, break out, clean, break out.
You know, over and over and over again, Roy, I see the same thing. There's never a lot of solid punching contact in a Bernard Hopkins fight. Why is that?
I don't know. It's just that he waits for a little while and he pop shots the guys. He doesn't try to go through a lot of big punches. He's not really a big puncher. He does most of his damage by an accumulation.
And he's good at making his opponents miss by just a little, so that they make contact, but it's non-essential contact.
That's what he wants to do. He wants to make his opponent miss just enough so that he can make contact. Something he learned from our first fight.
Because you boxed him all the way.
All night long. But he learned a lot out of that fight.
He's a better fighter technically today than he was then, isn't he, Roy?
Oh, yes, he is. Most definitely.
Well, crowd shows its continually growing restlessness with the fight that they're seeing, of course. Many in the house, Oscar De La Hoya fans, waiting for Oscar De La Hoya to fight.
Like drop the rain, son. Like drop the rain. It comes like drop the rain. Many a time. Take a little rest, son. Take a little rest. Go with your doubles. You're gonna be all right, son. Go with your doubles, baby. All right?
Challenge him. Challenge the guy. You ready. Do it. You got it. Give it, man.
Rob, believe, man.
Right
Come
now.
on.
Right, I need to see it in your eyes, man. Go get this.
He's not ready.
You're doing
Rob.
everything. You're making every move.
on,
I need you to throw the punch.
Sure you want it.
Throw the punch, man.
You gotta want it.
Throw the punch. Huh?
You gotta want it. You gotta want it, baby.
Go, get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
Fight number 3 between Bernard Hopkins and Robert Allen has so far been anything but a crowd pleaser. Hopkins, #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the sport, according to Ring Magazine, is averaging 26 punches per round. In other words, a very limited punch outfit, or as Larry Merchant said earlier, he's not doing anything. Harold Letterman, however, will tell us after round 6 how he has the fight, and he gave the first 3 rounds to Bernard.
Break out clean, step back.
According to trainer Byron Oglesby of Robert Allen, he thinks Hopkins is stealing rounds. Now Allen seems to be stepping a little closer in this round, Roy, and trying to make more contact.
Yeah, they told him he has to punch more, which he really does have to do. But he's staying back, he's staying back waiting on Hopkins, and that's not going to really help him.
1 point.
And now here is a low blow delay as Hopkins gets time to recover, and Joe Cortez deducts a point from Robert Allen.
Was there a warning previously on a low blow?
Nope.
I don't remember it, and I don't see why that should be a point deduction.
I think perhaps the warning in the first round was about low blows. Remember the conversation
at the beginning of the fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The conversation between Cortez and Allen very early in the fight. If that was about low blows, then that would be the pretext for taking away a point here. Now Hopkins complains to Cortez that Allen is butting him with the head. And a pretty good left hook here.
At least they're fighting now.
All right, stop. Let's go. There you go. Touch that body. You gotta make weight. Touch that body. You gotta make weight. Oh, Robert.
Good hook by Hopkins.
Good body shots.
Touch that body. You gotta make weight. Touch that light heavyweight body.
Allen just doesn't seem to believe in his punches. He won't throw enough. He just sits back and he waits, and he can't beat Bernard like this.
Do you see anything in Bernard's performance that suggests he's below par, Roy, that he might have distracted himself with all of the controversy about whether he would drop out of the fight because of Cortez, or is this just what Bernard wants to do with this?
This is just what happens when you fight a southpaw. That's all this is. This has nothing to do with Bernard.
Yeah, and also this is arguably the most important fight of his life, because if he wins it, he'll get the big payday that's eluded him for fighting De La Hoya.
That's right.
And so he's being a little bit extra cautious, perhaps.
Exactly.
Right?
And don't be stupid now. You got the biggest fight of your life coming up. Don't take a stupid chance now. Why?
On the other hand, why would we be enticed to watching this guy, Hopkins, whoever he is, fighting fighting for a lot of money the next time, because he certainly isn't looking like the world's best fighter.
Well, maybe it's exciting to watch him be so smart.
If I want to watch smart, I'll go to the spelling bee.
And here's a replay of the punch for which Joe Cortez took a point away from Robert Allen. Allen might say, hey, he was pulling me down with the left hand, but the bottom line is it was right on the cup.
Yeah, and I think that's where Hopkins complaining about the referee kind of comes into an effect, because he never gave the guy a warning, which he should have gave him a warning first. Also, Hopkins did put him to him with the left hook.
And there's Felix Sturm, opponent for Oscar De La Hoya tonight, 25 years old. Growing up, he says his hero was Oscar De La Hoya. But on the other hand, he appeared to us yesterday to be a confident athlete who didn't come here expecting to be just an accessory to a De La Hoya coronation. We'll see when that fight follows this one. CompuBox numbers in round 5. Hopkins' punch output was up to 36, and he landed 11. Robert Allen only 4 out of 50 punches. He's averaging only 4 landed punches per round. You heard Roy Jones say he just doesn't seem to have any confidence in his punches. He's not stepping up close to land them.
Good right hand by Hopkins.
Hunting and pecking with the right hand and landing it often enough to establish victory in most of these rounds.
All right, stop! Stop! Break out! Stop! Step back.
Let's go underneath it. Let's go underneath it.
Come on, Bernard. Let me out.
A lot of people thought this would be a mismatch. Red Hot trainer Buddy McGirt was asked last night on ESPN what Hopkins had to do to win the fight, and his answer was, show up.
Good shot.
Great right hand.
That's what happens when Allen waits on Hopkins.
Allen swinging from a distance. Just not going to get anything done trying to punch from out there.
Look at him.
See how bad his balance is?
Another trip. Second time on the canvas in this fight for Allen. He was on the canvas 5 times in the second of their 2 fights, TKO 7 Hopkins.
Yeah, I don't understand his balance, because he's off balance, and without Hopkins even helping him that time, he just failed.
And now there's blood on the bridge of Allen's nose. I'm not quite sure what have brought it there.
From that right hand.
Execute him. Come on, Robbie. He's fronting. Execute him.
Bernard, quick as a cobra with that one right hand shot at a time. Now he begins to follow up with the left hook. It's getting easier for Bernard Hopkins as he starts to wear Robert Allen down. And you heard Roy Jones say this is the Bernard Hopkins plan.
That's right. Just wait.
Round after round.
Wear him down a little bit, then he can start landing more punches, landing more effective punches, not taking any stupid chances. He's a very smart veteran fighter.
Get the win, look great next time.
That's right, when it counts.
Meanwhile, I'm not sure this is as exciting as watching bears hibernate.
Is it as exciting as watching Floyd Mayweather Jr. audition for the top pound-for-pound spot? Does it say that Dan Rafael at USA Today is more correct in ranking Mayweather ahead of Hopkins as opposed to the other way around?
Perhaps.
Some people will talk about that, because Mayweather's performance was surely more spectacular 2 weeks ago. Good right hand again by Hopkins. Ducked the left, landed the right, stepped away.
Textbook stuff.
Sometimes moving to the right, sometimes moving to the left. Shifts his feet, gets into a different position, pops Allen with the right hand again.
And he's
in and out, side to side.
And he's eventually going to catch Allen with the overhand right.
Cortez getting busier. Allen having difficulty hitting Hopkins, decides to talk to him instead.
You got to make him fight, man. Breathe long and slow. Breathe long and slow. Breathe long and slow. I need to see it in your eyes. I know you're going to get this thing, man.
Okay, my man. You got a problem? Okay, I want a clean fight. Remember what I told you in the dressing room? I want good sportsmanlike conduct. I told you that before.
Come on, Rob. Suck it up, baby. All right?
Oh, my bad. All right? I want good sportsmanlike conduct, okay?
I'm doing good, ain't I?
All right. That's all I want.
I'm asking.
I want good sportsmanlike.
Robert trying something, Cortez.
Okay.
Cortez got it. Robert forcing something.
Let's go. Get him out.
Well, in an effort to speed things along, I almost called for Harold's scorecard 2 rounds early. Now we're ready. Harold, how do you have it after?
Okay, Jim. I got to tell you something. I can't find anything to give around to Robert Allen. You know, 6-0, 60-53. Bernard the execution of Hopkins. You got to make round 5 a 10-8 round. Take a point away from Allen. Michel Cortez took that point for low blows. I think that point that Joe took might have been a little bit.
Well, you know, Roy, you're pretty good.
I just told you that the last round, he's going to catch him sooner or later with the overhand right. He's been had him set up for it, just was a matter of time.
You okay? Come on.
That's pretty astonishing, Roy.
And this fight should be over now because Hopkins is not going to let him off, I don't think.
It was the 7th round in which Hopkins finished Allen in their previous fight. It's the 7th round here as Hopkins begins to humiliate Allen with a fusillade of punches. Allen gets in a little counter right hand. Hopkins walks through it and keeps coming. Body shot, moves Allen back into position with his shoulder to square him up again and keeps hitting it.
And Allen has no balance, though. That's the problem. He can't throw sharp punches because he has no balance.
He looks like he doesn't have any heart for this, is what it looks like.
Come on, turn around.
No balance. His balance is horrible. Same shot again.
Suddenly, in round 7, it begins to get easy for Bernard Hopkins.
I told you he was just waiting him out, waiting, let the guy get tired, take his time, then make it happen. He knows what he's doing.
The ultimate professional, the executioner at work.
Well, here it looks like a predator has invaded the hibernating bear's cage.
You okay, my man?
Hopkins, who through the first part of the fight was averaging 26 punches per round, 106 of them thrown in the first 4 rounds, may wind up throwing 100 punches in this round.
Good right hand by Hopkins.
And a vicious left hook to the body. And Allen is wobbly as he moves back. Hopkins looking to land one more right hand shot.
He will. Just a matter of time.
Another vicious left hook to the body, scores for Hopkins. And he mauls Allen against the ropes as Cortez tries to pull him apart.
Hopkins throwing low blows and Cortez not taking points from him, though.
That's right. He got one verbal warning over there in the corner the last time when he was mauling Allen about a minute ago.
There was the move.
Cortez didn't even bother to pull him off to warn him.
That's the bell hand. All right.
A very discouraged Robert Allen goes back to his corner, having been ripped by Bernard Hopkins in the 7th.
And here you'll see he was feinting down with the left, with the right hand, and coming right over the top. Allen has been open for it all night. I saw it in the last round. This is why I told you he was going to get caught eventually. Hopkins looks down like he's going to go look by it and comes with the overhand right. Boom. Right on the mark. Down Allen goes.
And like the great pitcher who changes speeds, Hopkins sometimes throws that right hand at slider speed. That was the fastball. Don't sit up for the slider when the fastball is coming.
Come on, big and deep, man.
Hey, look.
In round 7.
That was your wake-up call, man. That was your wake-up call, man. That was your wake-up call. Fight the guy. You just stay right there and keep working.
Make him walk into one.
Allen certainly doesn't look like he believes his trainer or he believes in himself.
In round 7, Bernard Hopkins landed 30 power shots. Many of them straight right hands, which hurt Allen. One of them put him on the canvas. And also, of course, those left hooks to the body, which continue to help set up the damage upstairs. Round 8 begins with another right hand.
The same overhand right.
Oh, and Allen catches Hopkins with a straight left. And a right hand that landed flush.
Hopkins better not get crazy here.
And a third right hand by Allen.
Hopkins better not get crazy here. And Allen better not either. He get knocked out.
Is Hopkins momentarily stunned, Roy?
No, Hopkins is fine.
And the crowd wants to know why Cortez pulled Allen off.
It looked to me like they had free hands.
But after being dormant the entire fight, Robert Allen suddenly erupted with a series of power shots.
Now, why would he do that all night is what I'm wondering. Why he doesn't throw his punches.
That's why his trainer Byron Oglesby is wondering, saying over there in the corner, I hope that was your wake-up call. I hope you're ready to fight now.
He won't throw his hands.
I think he had trouble reaching Hopkins while Hopkins was moving away from him, being purely defensive. Once Hopkins started to get a little bit more offensive, he was in his range.
I think that's a very good call.
I think it's because he's not trying to cut the ring off on Hopkins at all. He's following Hopkins around instead of cutting the ring off.
Well, you made that point in round one, but now he's continuing to pop Hopkins with little right hands.
But he
lands two there.
But he's still following Hopkins. If you watch him, he's still following. He's not really cutting the ring off.
Well, that means that Hopkins is going to get more opportunities to land power shots.
Hopkins is going to lead him into something if he's not careful.
Now, of course, Hopkins, crafty as he is, having taken a few punches from Allen here in the round, is already plotting how to use that against Allen, right?
Yeah, he's using that to make Allen tired. You see he's moving around. He's not standing still now. He had Allen set with left hook, then he just threw the body shot just to make sure it's there. And he knows he can hit Allen with a hard shot anytime he really gets ready.
But Allen's looking for the right hand a lot more now.
Yeah, he is. Allen just does not punch enough.
Allen reluctant to keep the pressure up. Hopkins kind of biding his time the latter part of the round. Harold Lederman has been searching to find a round to give to Robert Allen, and I think he may have found one.
It's not over yet, though.
Well, give Allen credit. He came back from off the floor in the last round, stood his ground, landed a few good shots.
And round 9 coming up in Hopkins versus Allen as Oscar De La Hoya stands up in his dressing room with a smile on his face, preparing to appear for the first time at 160 pounds, fighting against full-fledged middleweight Felix Stern.
And Allen realized the overhand right hurt him, so he said, let me try an overhand left. And boom, there goes the shot, wide open, as clean as you can ask for, and Bernard's knees did not even buckle. And right here, he came right back and led with the right hook instead of the left this time, and caught Hopkins with his hands down, but once again, it didn't appear to really hurt Hopkins at all.
Right?
Yep.
Well, on the second punch, the one that landed up around the temple, Bernard was able to roll away a little bit.
Yeah, he was moving away with both of them, actually, but still.
Boundary box numbers in round 8. Hopkins only 10 out of 31. Allen 13 out of 50. And a 12-8 edge in power connects. And the mystery is solved. How to give a round to Robert Allen. Give him that one. Round 9 begins. Hopkins still thoroughly in control. Allen perhaps, though, with a new initiative to try to go forward.
And as you say, Roy, he follows him around. He does not know how to cut off the ring.
Drives him into the corner with a shot to the chest. Hopkins comes back with a straight right hand upstairs.
Let's go.
It's a little late. He's got a long way to try to come back from. I don't think he can come back at this point.
Allen landed a low blow. That could have cost him another point. But Cortez was on the far side of Hopkins, may not have seen it.
Good hook by Hopkins.
Good right hand by Allen. Excellent hook by Allen coming back from Hopkins' left hook. Robert Allen's never had a knockout past the 9th round. He would need something like that to happen here after having appeared to lose perhaps all of the first 8 rounds, and that's the 4th time that Allen has been on the canvas.
And once again, it's that bad balance that I told you about.
That's the 9th time he's been down in the last 2 fights.
So in the last 16 rounds against Hopkins, Allen has been on the canvas 9 times.
3 times from punches.
Only 3 of them are called knockdowns. Little left hook upstairs for Bernard Hopkins, and he walks away. Allen starts to set to try to punch, and Hopkins walks away again. Allen tries to set again, and Hopkins hits him with a left hook to the body.
The body shot hurt Allen real bad then. The body shot really hurt Allen
He wasn't
bad.
expecting it.
No, he wasn't. And Allen, once again, as you saw, was following Hopkins. That's how he ran into that body shot then, because he's following Hopkins. He won't cut the ring off. He follows Hopkins.
You can tell when a guy's been hurt by a body shot because he holds his arm real close to his body.
And he got it real close to there now.
In the next 10 seconds.
Roy, can you project what you see from Hopkins here to De La Hoya?
No, it's very difficult to project that. It all depends on the fight that De La Hoya brings to the ring, too, because Hopkins will look 100% better than this, trust me, against a right-handed fighter.
Well, that fight will almost certainly be fought at a much faster pace, don't you think?
Yes, it will.
If it takes place.
It's just like he did with Tito. The fight before fighting Tito, he didn't look good at all because he did have a lackluster opponent, which I think was a southpaw. And when he came to the real battle, he did his thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Trinidad was the aggressor throughout.
Well, Oscar De La Hoya's not going to run from him.
It was Keith Holmes that he fought before Trinidad. I was wrong about the Eccles thing. There was a
listen, look at me.
Fight with
and
Eccles
listen
before
to
the
me
tournament.
clear. You got to touch the guy and win the round. He just want a sparring match, man. Listen to me, man. I need some Vaseline. I got it. Listen, Rob. Listen again, man. I need to look at me, man. We right here now. What round? Rob, this the 10th round, man. You got to win these next 3 rounds, man, or we a done deal, man.
Come on, Chad. All right. Chad. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good job.
That's what we want. We don't need big shots. We need fast shots. When it rains, doesn't rain one punch.
Right here you see Allen walking behind Hopkins, and Hopkins leads him right into the left hook to the body. He thought Hopkins was coming to the head. He was nowhere at all ready for that shot, and it hurt him real bad.
Allen making about $500,000 for this fight, which is twice as much as he made for the first 2 fights between them combined.
Harold, how do you have it scored tonight?
Okay, Jim. 8 rounds to 1, 89 to 80. Bernard, the execution of Hopkins. Jim, I swear, the only round that I find that I could give to Robbie Allen, without question, was round 8. I mean, he just doesn't throw enough punches. He's, not busy at all. Bernard landing all the clean shots. So it's Hopkins 8 to 1 on clean punching.
Good shot. Good right hand by Hopkins.
Come on, Bernard. Keep your hands up, Bernard. Bernard, get your hands up.
He just told us. That's my ex. Fake that X to the torso.
Allen's trainer, Byron Oglesby, said you got to win these next 3 rounds or else we're toast. I got news for him. You can win the next 3 rounds big, they're still toast.
With butter on it.
Not sure why he didn't tell him to go try to knock the man out. Hopkins gets away with one right below the belt line. Comes back with a vicious left hook to the body. That's another body shot that hurt Robert Allen.
Yep. Because he's not ready for these body shots. And the problem is, Robert Allen has a very muscular build, but he can't punch because he can't get any balance.
A very muscular build is not always a great thing in boxing.
It's not good at all in boxing.
You want the loose, long, quick muscles. There's a good left hand over the top by Allen.
But look how badly off balance he was right after that.
And Hopkins comes back with a straight right hand to even things out.
The stronger man is not always the master.
On the face. On the face, baby. On the face. Be fair. Pop that chain, baby. Pop that chain.
Another good, solid, straight left hand by Allen. Just not enough of that. Occasionally, he'll step in and land one big punch. And Hopkins comes back with a right and a left hook and drives him away again.
And hurts him really bad with those body shots.
Be first, boy, say. Let's go. Let's go. Off the top. Let's go.
Bernard, let him go, Bernard. Stop! Stop! Right there. Stop right there. Let's go.
Right side.
One of the things that Hopkins told us is that he makes his opponents fight. He's having a hard time making Allen fight.
Hard time. Let's go.
Hey, man, listen, dog. Robert. Hey.
Right here, man.
Whatever you got to do in your mind, you got to do it now, man.
Come on, baby.
You got to stop this
left.
guy, man.
Come on. Yo, come on. I'm counting on you, man. Come on. Let them things go, man.
Robert, you got to get down and do it for you, man. Listen.
Big D, come on.
Man, wake up. What you hold your head down for? Man, you got to fight the guy with both hands. All I see is one hand. Let your hands go, man. You got nothing to lose but fight this guy. Hold your hand. Let's go. Let's go.
Nice deep breath. Okay? Oh, you got a gas tank. You ain't worried about the gas tank. Take him in the center of the ring, son.
Well, it's easier for the trainer to say, go ahead and let your hands go. He's not the one who's getting countered by straight right hands and left hooks to the body.
Exactly. He's making a better point, but he's making it way too late. And then Allen keeps letting his head down every time the trainer says something like he doesn't really believe in it.
He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear that he can make a fight out of it, because he looks like he's just going to be satisfied to let go the distance if he can.
Hopkins going to the 11th and 12th rounds for the 13th time in his career. Allen for the 3rd time. Experience gap there.
Hopkins is basically just picking him apart now. He's just landing one shot and moving, and just keep it safe, you know, stay ahead of the fight and win it.
And with so much at stake, Bowie Fischer doesn't have to tell Bernard Hopkins to keep it safe. Hopkins has had that covered from the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, he does, but sometimes it's good to reiterate it so that he doesn't get a little off focus and try to knock the guy out.
Terrific 4-punch combination for Bernard Hopkins, showing off a little bit here in round 11. But once again, putting himself back into Allen's punching range. We saw what happened in the 8th round when Hopkins got a little careless after having hammered Allen so badly in the 7th. And he takes a straight left hand down the pipe.
There you go, real shot. Real quick.
Allen just doesn't want it bad enough.
Don't hold our head down, my man. Don't hold our head. Let's go. All right, come on, let's go.
It's a wrap. Body shot, it's a wrap. Body shot, it's a wrap. Body shot, it's a wrap. What I tell you? Body shot, it's a wrap.
Allen billed it as a rough fight. He hasn't done enough to make it a rough fight.
Nope, not enough punches.
I guess he can go out now and win 13 more fights against guys you and I have never heard of and get another shot. That's how boxing works today with these corrupt organizations.
No, it'll be tough for him to get another shot off of this performance because he's not really doing anything in his opportunity. They'll give you 1 or 2 opportunities, but once you don't cash in or you don't show that you really want it bad enough, they start to look away from you.
Sometimes the control against the governing organizations and their mandatory rankings has to be a television executive somewhere along the line who says, nope, the public doesn't want to see that.
Hey, Rob, you got to let man, listen. Hey, dog, listen, give me that again, Cash. Man, hold your head up and let's go, man. Listen, Rob, you're going to watch this tape, man, and you're going to be mad at yourself, man, if you don't fight this guy, man. You got to put your ass on the line, man, with this guy. Challenge the guy. Stop backing up and pulling out. We got...
Last round, we'll touch him up.
Listen, man, we got to put this guy on his back, man.
Come on, baby.
Rob.
Take him out, Rob. 3 minutes, baby. Come on.
Can you do it? Give me everything, man. Give me every
round, okay? Don't get wild, stay in the center, and don't get too careless, all right, son? You be home straight.
Let's go. Be out. I got to clean. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Put your ass on the line. Right here.
Come on, let's go out the ring.
Well, at the end of the 11th round, the crowd was booing, but Bernard Hopkins was smiling. And Roy Jones pointed out to you early in the fight, Bernard doesn't need anybody's approval. He touches gloves to begin the 12th and immediately pops Allen with a left hook over the top.
One thing the trainer did say was that Allen's going to look back at this tape and be very mad at himself.
Let him out clean. Let him out clean. Let him out. Let him out. Step back. Step back. Let him out. Let him out.
It looks like his answer to the humiliation of their second fight is simply to try to go to distance in the third fight.
Good body shot again by Hopkins.
A masterfully indifferent performance by Bernard Hopkins. Risking little, taking advantage of what's there right in front of him, landing when necessary, exposing himself as little as possible, setting up the bigger business to come down the road.
Best thing he can do.
Win this fight, look good in the next one.
Yep, no sense of taking no stupid chances. This is what got him where he is. Keep going with what works.
12th round, age 39, still in command at his feet, still able to dance, move in either direction.
Are there ways of taking smart chances?
Yeah, he's doing it now. Take a pop shot, take a swing at him every now and then, see if you can clip him.
Fighting with a little smile on his face.
Like that.
Because it has become easy for Hopkins here in the late rounds. Maybe he wants one of those 12th round knockouts, as was the case in the Trinidad fight. But it's not really necessary here.
I think I'll just correct you a bit. I think that fight was 11th round, Jim.
Sorry about that. I'm sure you're right. Bottom line was that the issue had long been decided,
but it was a fight. It was a real fight because Felix Trinidad is a real fighter.
He's Felix Trinidad. That's right. At the end of the fight, we will have Joe Cortez's microphone open so that if any byplay takes place between the champion fighter and the referee he tried to get dislodged, we'll be able to hear it. The referee who hung in, stood his ground and said, I don't care if the whole card's going to come down, I'm keeping my assignment. And ultimately it was Hopkins who backed down.
You think these people who are booing Hopkins will come back in September to see him fight De La Hoya?
Yep, they sure will.
Thumbs up on that one.
Assuming, of course, that De La Hoya wins his part of the bargain.
They boo with their mouths, then they vote with their wallets once the chance comes to see the big fight.
Let him walk. Let him walk. Come on, walk.
Another day at the office for Bowie Fischer and Bernard Hopkins.
Basically.
Who've been down this road so many times. Hopkins looking for the 44th win in 47 fights in his now storied career. Hard to imagine that the scorecards we're about to see would be anything other than one-sided. Look at the one in front of you there by Harold Letterman. And frankly, I think I would totally agree with Harold that the only round you could conceivably have given to Allen in the fight was the 8th. Every other round seemed to belong to Bernard Hopkins. Maybe a judge would have found one of the first 3 rounds to give to Allen when there was so little activity. But beyond that point, not a terribly difficult fight to score. Judges Carol Castellano scored the first of the 2 Morales-Barrera fights for Morales, who was the winner. Patricia Jarman's most interesting scorecard had Fernando Vargas ahead of Oscar De La Hoya 97-94 through 10 rounds in the fight in which De La Hoya TKO'd Vargas in the 11th. She was the only one of the 3 judges who saw Vargas leading in that fight. Jerry Roth had the draw card in Jones-Tarver 1. The other two judges both finding it for Jones, 115, 113.
Pound for pound.
Michael Buffer ready now with the decision in this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards. Carol Castellano and Jerry Roth, 119 to 107. Patricia Jarman, 117 to 109, all for the winner by unanimous decision. 18 straight title defenses and still the universally recognized middleweight champion of the world, Bernard, the Executioner Hopkins.
Well, you hear the roar of approval from the fans for Hopkins' performance here. Tee-hee. And again, he doesn't care. Final CompuBox numbers. And you will see that Allen actually threw more punches, although constantly we said he wasn't throwing enough. He wasn't throwing enough because he was landing so few of the ones that he threw, only 16%. Meanwhile, Bernaud Hopkins with a very representative statistical performance, 156 out of 436. Many of those 156 well thrown straight right hands down the pipe or left hooks to the body, his two most effective weapons. Let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with Bernaud Hopkins.
All right, thank you very much, Jim. Bernaud, congratulations. Did you have a game plan here in any sense to be a little bit cautious because of the stakes of winning this fight?
Absolutely, absolutely. Even when I had him hurt, when I hit him with the loop shot, I had him hurt, but I wanted to take my time and I wanted to be careful because, I mean, he could punch. I mean, he's not a bigger punch as Eccles, but I wanted to be careful. It's a lot on the line here, Larry, and I'm still in a nervous state as far as De La Hoya. When he get done, I can breathe easy. But yes, I was out of character nervous, but I mean, I think I wasn't that bad.
You were nervous in this fight, you're saying?
Yeah, I was nervous that, all this on the line, only take one shot, and it felt strange, but I got loose after I got popped a couple of times. But yeah, it's a lot. I've never been in a situation, Larry, like this where I'm waiting at the end of the road, and it's a $10 million plus waiting for me if I win and if De La Hoya wins. But it was my job first to win, and yeah, I mean, Larry, freak accidents happen, cuts, sprained ankle. We in Las Vegas, but with the ref situation and all that, Cortez, I want to say to the world that Nevada Commission has done an animal job. I had problems before, but Cortez referee a great fight, and I wouldn't have no problem referee any other fight in the future, Larry.
Is it fair to say, in a sense, then, that you sort of carried him a little bit, even though you could have taken him out if you had made a maximum effort?
I think that's a correct analysis of it, because in the back of my mind, I just want everything to go perfect, and sometimes when you do that, you screw up. But I came through, and yes, Larry, I was out of character safe, but it won't happen again, trust me.
Did the boos from the crowd bother you? Do you understand why they were booing?
Well, it motivated me one time, Larry, in a fight where people booed and I started throwing my counter right, overhand rights, and caught him a couple of times. But I mean, I love the fans, and I do respect their opinion, and they pay good money. But Larry, when you're in there with a guy and all this in stake, Larry, win is the only agenda here. And I think I put enough of performance on to play safe out of 40-something fights in my career. So, but I think overall, I think I deserve a B minus.
Are you going to be as anxious and nervous about watching this next fight as having your own fight?
Even more, Larry. I'm gonna get dressed, going back, and I'm gonna be sitting ringside. And I know it ain't legally for me to help De La Hoya, but trust me, I'm gonna be anxious to jump in that ring if something go wrong.
Thank you very much.
Larry, I meant to tell you, you look like an old Dennis the Menace. All you got to do is pick that up high. Good to be here, man. Good to be with HBO pay-per-view. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernaud.
Thank you.
JB?